guys, welcome back to Terra PC Dundee. If you saw our last video, we built a powerful £500 gaming PC that runs 1440p and even some 4K titles. But what you didn't see was what went wrong behind the scenes. The GPU, the RX 5700 XT that we bought for £125 had a broken fan when I got it. And in this video I'm going to be walking you through exactly how I fixed it, cleaned it up, applied fresh thermal paste and got it running cooler and quieter than ever. Let's get into it. Okay, so this is the GPU I'm talking about. So step one is we need some screwdrivers, the fan that I got off of AliExpress. This cost me around £8 or £9 on the time of recording, and thermal paste to apply the new thermal paste, some brushes to just clean off the dust, some rubbing alcohol, and we also need some thermal pads. Once you've gathered all the parts, we need to turn over the GPU, then take off all of the screws on the back plate. This might take a bit of finagling and a bit more effort than you're used to. You need to be a bit slow so that you don't strip the screws. Now once we have the back plate off, we can pull it down and we can take off the fan connector. Just make sure that you're pulling the connector firmly, but don't try to apply too much pressure, otherwise you'll break the connector. Now we can separate the back plate from the front plate and we can start cleaning the inside of the GPU, and just now use a soft brush to wipe off dust, and then with a hard brush with a firm touch remove the more harder dust bit. So now I'm just removing the old thermal pads, and here you can see the thermal pads are no longer fit for purpose, so we'll remove all of the thermal pads. Now we'll work through the front side of the GPU, which has all of the other thermal pads, so we'll remove those as well. And now with the smaller screwdriver, just take off all of the screws on the shroud. So now just removing the shroud altogether, and now I'm just going to be brushing off all of the excess dust on the shroud itself or the heat sink. And yeah, similar to the previous step, just using a softer brush to remove these easy to get off bits, and then using a harder brush like this one to just remove the more sticky bit. Here you can apply a bit more force just because it's all made of steel or metal. You might see in this video that there was so much dust coming out of the GPU when I was brushing that even after 5 minutes just brushing off the heatsink, I still feel like it wasn't clean. And now on to the main centerpiece, which is the fan grill or fan cover. You just want to take the brushes again and just wipe off all of the dust as much as possible. Then taking the smaller screwdriver, just take off all of the screws holding the fans in place. There's 3 on each of the fans. Take a bit of time. Make sure that you are firm but not applying too much pressure, otherwise you would strip off these screws. And now carefully taking off the fans and now putting the old fans to the side. Now I'm just going to take the brushes again and just clean off any excess. And now here's the new fans, similar to how we took off the old ones. It's the same process. You just place the new fans on top and screw in where the old ones were, and just neatly route the fan cable through the cover. Now we're just going to do the entire removal process in reverse. So we'll place the heatsink or the front plate, then re-screw the heatsink on the front plate. I'm going to just wipe off the old excess thermal paste. I'm going to be reapplying new thermal pads on this GPU. I got this big patch of thermal pads from AliExpress for I think maybe like 2 or 3 pounds, which was well worth it. And now I'm just cutting off bits to just apply on the GPU. Make sure you peel off the sticker from both sides so that it has good contact with the GPU. And now the old thermal paste from the GPU core needs to be cleaned off as well, so I'll wipe that off and I'll apply the thermal paste. You might need to also spray some alcohol on the GPU old thermal paste if it's stuck on really well, so that it's easy to take off and wipe off. And now just putting on the heatsink on the actual GPU core, seeing if everything lines up properly. Now connecting the fan connector from the fans to the GPU and securely placing the heatsink and the fans on top of the GPU core. You might need to sort of fiddle around and find how to properly place the fan connector inside without blocking off clearances, but once you do that, all of these screws should line up properly, and now you can screw back the back plate on the GPU. And now with these screws fastened properly, now I'm just going to take some rubbing alcohol and just spraying it all over the GPU on all of the sides, just cleaning and wiping off any excess dirt on the outside of the GPU. And this is the best part, removing the stickers off of the fan covers. And now when I spin the fans, they spin freely and both of them work really nice. So it was time to boot up the system and test temps. Before the repair, the GPU was hitting around 93 to 95 degrees C under load, but after the fan swap and the thermal paste refresh, we are sitting at a cool 60 to 75, 80 degrees maximum temperature. FPS in all of the titles that I checked remain excellent. The only difference that was there was the stability and also the fan noise. So early on I would see that the only functioning fan would ramp up and down, and now after the repair the card runs quieter, smoother and cooler. So here's the takeaway: if you're building on a budget and picking up used or refurbished parts, you'll occasionally run into issues like this. It's far and few in between, but you have to keep that in mind. But a broken fan doesn't mean the GPU is dead. And with a bit of effort, you can bring powerful cards like RX 5700 XT back to life. It saved me money, it was satisfying to fix, and the performance speaks for itself. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, it really helps the channel grow. Subscribe to the channel, and if you got questions about this repair or your own GPU, drop them down in the comments below. I've also linked Google Forms in this description, so if you want a custom build for yourself, just fill out that form and we'll reach out to you and we'll get you sorted with something that matches your needs and your budget properly.